Hello everyone, welcome to Crowdfunding Countdown. We're going to take a look at every single board game campaign finishing up in the next week. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. WSBG is done. If you want a recap of that, you should sign up for our email list. And you can check out the vlog, but there's going to be a more sort of front-facing recap that's going to be happening tomorrow on WSBG's channel, or today on WSBG's channel at some point in time. John's going to send out an email, and then I'm going to use that email as sort of the basis of what I talk about and edit things together. And that's my editing job for tomorrow that I'm going to be doing. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to get back. It feels like it's been a long time since I've done Crowdfunding Countdown, because for me, I did the other ones a little bit back to back. And so we missed a couple, but we're going to go back and check those out. Thanks to all of you who let me know in the comments when I missed something. It's very much appreciated. Easy to miss something, especially because Kickstarter was being funny last time. So we're checking out Spellrift to start today. But before we do, I've got two shout outs to do. One, this episode is sponsored by my new t-shirt. I got this new cool t-shirt from Into the AM. They give me a couple shirts every time I talk about them, so I say, yeah, I'll talk about you whenever I want. So I got this t-shirt. I got a nice another little button-up that I like. I love their stuff. You can use the code SlipperyJim to save 10% off, and that is now a, what's the word? Referral code? No, it's always been a referral code. I get money for it. Affiliate code. That's it. So you can use that to save 10% off, and it usually works. It usually stacks. And if it doesn't stack, I don't care. Really, I don't care. Even though it's an affiliate link and I'm not getting paid for these ads anymore, but they do give me free shirts, and that's literally all I care about. So I will continue to talk about them when they want to send free shirts my way. Or shorts, which I keep telling them to give me some damn shorts, and they're like, yeah, next time. And now I'm at a short season. Now it's no point to get any shorts up here in Canada. But I want to try their shorts. That's what I really want to try. But anyway, I love Into the AM. I love their stuff. Highly recommend if you're looking for comfort. The last time I did one of these ads, I looked at their sales and I said, oh my goodness, I want to buy these things. And look, there's the basic tee. And we're in Canadian right now? I think we're definitely in Canadian now. Yeah, free shipping on orders of $160 Canada. There's the daily shorts. Oh, I want them. But yeah, I always go to their sale tab as well. And you can usually get great stuff on sale. They have great sales. The fact that you can, there's still Henleys you can get. The last time I bought 4 Henleys last time, and I'm so excited about all of them. Yeah. So yeah, check them out. I think they're a great company, and I wouldn't talk to you about them if they weren't a great company, especially not for an affiliate link. I mean, come on. No, thank you. I've tried to get people to do affiliate marketing before, and nobody cares, because nobody on YouTube in the board gaming space really cares about affiliate marketing, because they're just like, it's not going to be enough to ever make it worthwhile if you don't believe in the product. So I really believe in the product. It always brings me great joy to see people wearing the Into the AM shirts after I've told them about it, and to see them enjoying it. I find that they're super comfortable, and yeah, I hope if you get them, you like them, because they're good stuff. They're quality, and for the quality, they don't seem that expensive as well, which is really good. So I like them a lot. Also, huge shout out goes out to Sapphire. Becky, I think that's you. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Upping the pledge to the channel. To everybody who supports me on Patreon, thank you so much. But Becky, you didn't have to do that. You really didn't. But I appreciate it. I kind of always feel bad when people like donate more, because maybe I pull out the I'm not worthy self-flagellation. But yeah, I just know that I am super appreciative. It is through mostly Patreon contributions that I'm able to devote as much time as I do to this channel, and that I don't have to go work WSBG full time. You know what I mean? And so it's always monumentally appreciated. And yeah, I know times are weird and times are tough, and if you can't donate to the channel, that's completely okay. But if you happen to watch this channel a bunch, and you feel like throwing a couple bucks my way, it does make a significant and meaningful difference to me. And so I just want to genuinely thank all my patrons for sticking with it and contributing. And you don't have to. You really don't. but as all 3 jobs over here does appreciate it a ton. So let's get into the week. I'm really excited this week, because I think we're going to have some fun things to look at, and some things that, like, I'm going to have a really hard time not backing, because I like the games. I like the games themselves. But here's a game that I don't know anything about. Spellrift Legends by Draconia Games. They did Tenaris. I have Tenaris. They sent me Tenaris, and I still haven't played it. Oh, too much stuff. No time. But we're going to check out what this one is. Somebody said that they thought it looked a little bit too much like Dark Tower. So that's Return to Dark Tower. That's something that I have a touch point on. Command legendary heroes in a thrilling adventure to save the planet. Heroes with thematic and unique decks and enemies that adapt to your choices. Let's see. All right, I changed the angle so maybe my back can be more supported, but then I gotta still look at you up here. Okay, that video told me nothing. An open world adventure game with Slay the Spire inspired deck building. Oh, this is cool. Late to the party, get the launch gift. Back now, share and tag a friend on the Facebook post below, and then you can get the launch gift as well. Sweet. So it keeps the momentum of the game going. It's a nice little thing. Co-op 1 to 5 players, adventure board game. Gather legendary heroes, Hercules, Merlin, Valkyrie, Brynhild, Mufasa or Musashi, and more. Battle the Void. I see their guarantee is getting longer because they were very close with their last game, Draconia Games. One-shot gameplay focus. Love that. I don't need another campaign game. Campaign mode add-on. Okay, cool. 9-boss campaign with meaningful choices. Great. I love that it's an add-on as well, because please don't convince me to do another campaign game. I can't do it. Slay the Spire style deck building, so it just means that you're upgrading your cards as you go through, I would assume, and also getting more cards after every run or after every battle. Eldritch Horror-inspired adventure combined seamlessly. Each card serving both for combat and exploration. I really do like that. I love not dual rift. I saw rift in that's what my brain filled in. Carve your path through a world shaped from 8 of 24 unique regions, each with their own exploration deck. Interesting. That does seem neat. Oh, okay. That's kind of Eldritch Horror style thing, right? Where each location will have a different event, different encounters that will pop up. It's gonna make setup annoying, but that's pretty cool. Asymmetric heroes. Each hero comes with unique cards and mechanics, as well as exclusive abilities, secret objectives, and upgrade cards. Choose your legend, build as you want. Sure, you have a basic deck that you're starting with, and you can upgrade it in a certain way. Yeah, that's fine. Earth Under Siege has that, in a sense. Seal Void Rifts to stop people from spawning. Yeah, okay, very Arkham. I don't know why these secret objectives have to be secret, but they're just like little upgrades. That should be fun, yeah. Each mission ends with a unique boss who influences the match long before it appears for the epic final encounter. Right, so it's just got it's a plague thing, so whenever you step on a plague space, you're gonna get plague damage, right? That's what that'll do. I do like that they all are like 10 basic cards and then 56 upgrade cards, so that indicates a lot of nice upgrading that's gonna happen in your deck. So there is gonna be a lot of stat checks, rolling dice. Interesting. Like, I quite like Arkham Horror. I like the flip over a card, roll a stat check, and that seems to be what you're getting into here. It doesn't provide a ton of like strategic depth, but it's a fun romp. You know, it is a lot of, hey, let's see what happens to us. Event card the game, you know? Core box is $129 US. So it's $187, $184, and then plus shipping. Yeah, okay. A bunch of new heroes, which is fun. Oh, this campaign doesn't seem very difficult at all. It's only like a $10 add-on. So you get 3 bosses in the main thing, or you can add a bunch of boss packs onto it. I love the introduction is down here. Foundational concepts for most images were generated by AI, then every single piece was given to professional artists to be redrawn, painted over, and brought to its final polished form. So no, so yes, that seems a little bit nebulous to me. They say that the storage and the setup is going to be fine. Okay. Dual use cards, rerolls, a fully immersive campaign. I mean, it's just like a deck of cards, so I don't know how fully immersive that's going to be, but Odalin is finished. Okay, finally. So much like front loading, which I understand, but how much is this rulebook going to be? 43? 28? That's pretty good. I think I have a really good sense about what happens. Players lose the game if any of the following happens. Doom Tracker reaches 40. All heroes are defeated simultaneously. So if you die, you can be resurrected, apparently. All 8 world tiles have despair tokens. You can't draw a new boss event card because the deck is depleted. Victory, completed the boss's unique objective, and then summoning and defeating the boss in a climactic battle. Just like Eldritch Horror. Having played, you know, both of those things, well, I've only played the video game for Slay the Spire, but it feels like that's an adequate way to describe it, and I'm already sort of piecing things together, but I'll try to describe it a little bit better for those of you out there who haven't played Eldritch Horror. It just feels like event card the game, rolling stat checks, seeing what different exploration things happen, running around and killing monsters in a ticking clock style of game. I just want to see what combat is like, because I know it's dice-based, but you'll roll to see what the monsters will do to you, and then I want to see how the card play is going to be. Okay, legend points is your core resource in the game. Every round you gain 2. It can be used for moving. It can be used for rolling a die in tests or combat. Interesting. You can carry over the legend points. I like that. I really like that you can wait and let things build up and then have like a super powerful turn. I think that's always a good idea in games. Cards are used to make attacks in combat or perform tests or support actions during exploration. Maximum 7 cards. I don't know why this is a hidden objective if it's co-op, but sure. Oh yeah, some tables enjoy a surprise reveal. Others prefer total teamwork and full co-op. Choose the social style your group likes best. Great, love this, love this. I love when I have like a, okay, and then it automatically gets addressed in a rule book. Beautiful. Okay, dice mechanics and tests. This is the core part. So there will be a target difficulty. You roll a number of d8s based upon the cards you've played. So it's like, do a red check, and then you would roll the red with that example card. You show 2 attacks. This means you roll 2 d8. Each successful inflict 1 brutal damage. Cool. And if you roll 1s, it's negative, so it takes away too. A test is considered successful. Successful if you obtain at least 1 success, 1 die roll that equals or exceeds the difficulty. Okay, I like that. Because then if you're rolling more dice, you've got a higher chance, but then that's why it is a negative, right? If it was just a normal fail, yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the design. So just really just stat checks. And every card that you have is going to be providing you dice to roll your stat checks. So really, as you're building your cards, they aren't going to have a ton of powers on them. Or this, like exploit whenever you succeed on a test, move 1, so you can do some action efficiency there. But you're going to want to get better cards. So you can roll more dice. You can achieve better checks, especially when it's like a 7+, right? You're going to want to roll a ton of dice. Okay. Yeah, you always gain 2 action points, you always draw 3 cards, and it's always explore a location. You turn up a card, you read the text, you roll a check, you see what happens. And this can be fun, right? Like this can be a fun idea. I think it's a good move to have a bunch of different locations that you swap in and out, so you're not always hitting the same check. I think that's what makes Eldritch or Arkham a little bit stale, because you know the places at a certain point, and so you'll get to explore a little bit more, which will be interesting. The Void Rifts are, it's really Eldritch coded that you just have to get to these spots, roll a check, complete these things while battling enemies that are spawning along the way. So you get to know what the enemy is going to attack, how it's going to attack, and then you choose how you're going to attack as well. And the heroes get to go first too, so you're going to just be wailing down on these monsters. Yeah, it seems very standard. It's just a lot of dice rolling and checks, and I do like how the cards decide how many dice you get to roll. I don't think the deck building is going to be that exciting. I think really the meat of the game is going to be in that breakdown of what you're getting. So that should be the thing that excites you the most, is the events, the random events, the stat checks, the rolling stat checks, going on an adventure, right? I think that should be the thing that pulls you in if you are getting this game. I think it's okay. It's not something that I would want to spend. What is shipping? $30, I'm sure. Yeah, 30 US, 34 to Canada. So again, for me, it's like $230 for this game. I don't know if the additional variability in the locations and the additional deck building aspect is going to make it more exciting than Eldritch Horror, or at least like double its price. I think that's the tough call with this, is that when it is seemingly based so much on that same flow and that same system, for the amount that you're going to dive into it and the amount that you are going to play it, I don't know. But if those random events seem cool, if you like Draconia games, if you like rolling stat checks and building up the amount of dice that you can check so that you can guaranteed win that stat until you roll all 1s and have that be a high point, check it out. This is already finished. You can follow it. You can late pledge it as well. That's over on GameFound. Okay, still on GameFound. This has 1 day left. It finishes on the 30th, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m. This is what happens when I cover things too early, is that the campaigns haven't even launched yet. And so we've got a ton that we have to get through. Man, Spellrift took a while, but that'll probably be the biggest one this time around. But we're going to check out Arrival, the 3rd in the High Frontier saga. I don't know what the High Frontier saga is, but apparently it's by Ion. Porphyriana, I remember that being just like so annoying to go through. I remember Cartini being interesting. And they did Stationfall. That's their big one, Stationfall. Okay, cool. High Frontier over here, Dawn on Titan, and then Arrival. So they're going back to their basic main mechanics: area influence, politics, resource management, event-driven survival. Play as ship-brain AIs, guide fragile beginnings of life with unique philosophy. 6 world maps. Oh yeah, this seems like a lot. How to play. Core game rulebook coming soon. Full tutorial and playthrough coming soon. Arrival module coming soon. Well, it's 1 day left, Arrival, and you still have the rulebook that's coming soon, and the Arrival module is coming soon. I don't see how it's raised so much money. I guess you can go through and you can play test, which I don't know how you can play test if you don't have a rulebook. Here's the tutorial and playthrough on Tabletop Simulator, so it's a nice 3-hour game. This seems awful. This seems half-baked. This is a real, hey, it's good for me because I spent so long on Spellrift, but this is such a piss poor campaign. I have no idea how it's raising this much money. Apparently the playtest must be really good because there's nothing on this campaign which interests me whatsoever as somebody who hasn't played Stationfall yet and hasn't played an Ion game design. Wildly shocking to me. I guess you can go like the only thing that you can access is this tutorial and this playthrough. Why you would, I don't know. But if you've played it, put it in the comments below maybe. share why you like it. Because for me, this just seems astonishing to me that it's raised so much without having anything going on the campaign. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to keep moving to this one. Cargo, a simple stacking and sabotaging card game, which has reached its funding goal. So there you go, 142 backers. Load your ship with just the right amount of cargo, but don't overshoot or you'll sink. For couples, groups, pub tables, and family night. Stacking cargo, sabotaging mates, staying afloat, sure. And I think you're drafting, right? You should say that you're drafting. I think it's drafting, but maybe not. At least we had Spellrift. Hey, we got Galactic Cruise coming up, so don't worry. All right, there's no drafting. Basically, the game is you have 5 cards in your hand, you're going to put a card in front of you, you have to stack on top of it, and you have to hit 25. But there are, of course, wild and zany cards, so you could add the wild and zany cards if you wanted to. There's some potential here. It's better than most of these card games, which are like attack each other style card games. At least there's kind of a game and kind of a purpose here, but still, it's 25 US. It looks like that's 32 Canadian, 35 Australian, plus shipping. $50 for this game. That is an ordinary card game that is going to be a little forgettable. I don't think so. But if you're interested, that's Tuesday, September 30th at 9:59 a.m. Probably similar to this. Well, this is a short set collection strategy board game about elemental spirits, drafting, hand management, Mana Mania or Mana Mania, if you're nasty. We look at everything. I promise I look at everything, so that's why you come here. I think it's Mana Mania, okay? Pretty sure it's Mana Mania. You keep saying Mana Mania, but I'm pretty sure it's Mana Mania. They keep saying hand, but they're referring to the tableau. Honestly, the fact that they keep referring to this tableau as a hand is infuriating to me. Make some mania. Some Mana Mania. Okay, there's some interesting concepts here. I think there's this Mana line. There's the Mania line over here, and the Melania line. No, let's not bring that into it. Wherever you're touching, you can use that ability or the abilities on either side of the card. So all of the cards have certain abilities, which will deal with like swapping cards in and out, or shifting or drawing additional cards. But those are the only ones that you can use. And then at the end of the game, wherever you're touching on the line, that's the points that you can score. So if you're collecting all these little zappers, you got a 10 zapper over here, but you're down in friggin' gray land, well, you're not going to get to score all your sweet little zappers. This is, I believe, the correct terminology. And so every turn, you just swap a card. You swap a card, you play a card, you try to get the most points. I don't think it's bad. I actually think it's certainly better than Cargo, and it is the same price as it. Shipping is going to be estimate $7 to the US, 26, so double it to Canada, so it'd be like around $70 to get this to me. Certainly not something I would ever want to pay that for, but if you live in the US, maybe this interests you as like a small little card game. Definitely has some potential here. That finishes Tuesday, September 30th at 1 p.m. Okay, so I clicked on this because I thought it seemed to be a scam, but apparently it's just a game that isn't doing well. Fold play is just like, you know, that other folding game table that already happened. And they're like, well, we're going to create it as well. This topper is not what you would normally think of as a topper. It's just a playmat. But yeah, it's not going to fund. I just clicked on it because I was like, oh, a foldable gaming table. It has 4 backers. There's no world in which this thing will ever exist. But yeah, I thought it was a scam and I thought I could have fun with it, but I couldn't. So here we are. We're moving on to Dungeon Wilds, a playing card game about exploring dungeons, destroying them, and dying over and over again. Let's see what this card game's all about. A new deck of playing cards, a new adventure game with a 24-page book. I have so many games to get through. Okay. I like the art style on this. It's basically just a standard deck of cards with a 24 guide book. It's a single player game. that you can use. You explore the dungeon by drawing cards and playing them, so you reveal the hidden dungeon cards. You clear the floor by collecting the cards. You need to play the revealed dungeon cards, avoid traps, buy items. What are all these things? No rule book, I guess, because the game is just the rule book. But why? Because you want to sell a set of playing cards for $25, I guess. Okay, we're moving on. Let's keep going. Let's go to Weeds. A garden takeover. Outgrow it with Outlast. Love that. A cutting back. I still haven't watched the premiere of Survivor because I've been so busy, but I'm so excited. A cunning battle to rule the wild garden. All games have been upgraded. Wooden token premium cards. Okay, cool. Be the last weed standing in this fast game of bluffing and probability. Keep your opponents guessing as you try to outwit them and predicting the number of weeds in the garden. Kind of like Skull, maybe? Push your luck by challenging opponents or increasing your bid. But don't guess too high, you'll be uprooted. It's exactly like Skull. With some shifts, because you can shift based upon the weather. Your health track also represents your hand size. Draw one card from your Noxious Weeds deck and the rest from the Common Weeds pile. Yep. And you're going to... Yeah, it's just Skull. But you have to bid the exact number as well. I don't like that. Don't forget, Wilds, Noxious, and Enraged count as 2. Okay, so everybody has a certain number of weeds in their hand. The other cards don't matter. You're bidding upon how many weeds are in everybody's hand. There's no choice of putting things down like Skull. There's just these little power cards that can give you abilities with your bid, I suppose. Yeah, it's not bad. $35, 49 Canadian. Or Kickstarter exclusive copy. Oh, for $50. I just think, like, sure, I think these are fine. I think it's a fine game, but it's just Perudo, right? There's been this game of bluffing since time immemorial, and so what does this game do that makes it better? I don't see much. I do like the potential of variable powers that you could draw into your hand, sure. Or based upon what weed you are, you get a different manner of bidding, but I don't think it's enough to warrant paying for it. That finishes Wednesday, October 1st at 10:02 a.m. Okay, let's move on. We're continuing in this card game theme, but I swear we're almost out of the woods. We have Capybaras versus Pelicans. I think it's Capybaras. How can I make it a mana? I don't know. I don't know. Capybaras versus Pelicans. Pelicans guide Capybaras to the safety of a hot spring in this card game for 2 to 5 players. But beware of those pesky Pelicans. Uh-oh. What regular card game is this going to be? Reskinned? I guess we'll find out. But, this is why I look at it, because I think Mania it looked actually pretty decent. All right, you just have a bunch of cards in your hand and you play them in front of you until you play a hot spring to bank them. But until you do that, people can steal them. How much are you going to be? $25 again? Even more. Probably closer to 28 US. We're moving on to Endearment, which, it makes me so annoyed that these games keep on doing well. It really does. They're like a huge defender of the $1 pre-pledge. We're not covering Endearment. Because it naturally, there is no setting it for. I mean, like, we don't have to rate it that way. Just, let's see what people are rating it for. Oh, 2 people rated it a 2. 1 person rated it an 8. Okay, at least it's not being reviewed bombed. Do Somnium Games, they have done the $1 pre-pledge ever since Botany, which, when you read the rules, looked horrible, and what a surprise people received it, and it's just not a gamer's game, right? So these are games that I think focus more on style than substance. And I'm kind of curious to even read through it because I imagine it will be bad. But you can see that it just looks really good. But from what I know from their previous games, I don't think it probably will. Yeah. It's literally war. That's what this game is. It's literally war. You go to a location. Oh, if there are 2 people there, you compare your traits. I mean, I guess you've chosen from your hand of cards, but it's the amount of poor gameplay in these games. I don't know. I just think their stuff is all style. Looks beautiful, for sure. Looks beautiful. All style, 0 substance. We're moving on. It's one thing if your games are good, but it's just it makes me so upset when people are like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a cool game, and then you get it and it just looks good and it sucks, and you've spent your money on a pretty thing that looks good but sucks. Hey, different strokes, I guess. We're moving on to Am I Human game. In a world filled with AI characters, prove you're the true human by doing the only logical human thing. Collecting humans. Sure, let's check it out. Oh, come on. Clippy real person? That's very good. Okay, it's pretty funny. The theme is pretty funny. I don't know if it'll. And then there's also a kitten version, Am I Kitty game. It's pretty funny. I don't. Let's see if the gameplay can hold up as well. You have to rescue your fellow humans. So it's a little set collection game. You can only bank human cards if there's no other cards left in your hand. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna have your hand size is 7. Before your turn starts, draw up or discard down to 7 cards. When your turn starts, you draw cards. So you always have 8 cards. You try to clear your hand of all non-human cards so you can bank your human cards, or not if you have a strategic reason to do so. So it's some sort of set collection where you can like pass cards to each other as well. Oh, players can start AI rows by playing 3 or more AI cards into a row on the table. Any player can add to these rows during their own turn. Most AI suites will trigger special effects depending upon which card was played in the sequence. Are set to the 4th and the 7th card, but future cards can change it up. Whoever plays the 4th can either draw 2 cards or dump 2 cards. Whoever plays the 7th can draw a superhuman and bank it immediately. So there are ways to block placing the 7th. You want to hold. Okay, cool. So it's set collection, right? But you can always trade with things that are on the main board as well, so that you can get stuff out of your hand, collect the humans. Sure, I think this would be a fun enough card. It's like very gin rummy-esque with a little bit of interaction, but I don't think the interaction is going to be obnoxious, unlike a lot of these games. €22, 36 Canadian, plus shipping is gonna be listed here. It's not listed. More people are going for humans than the kittens. I guess that doesn't make sense. Do they have a shipping? €9 approximately to get to the US, €14 to get to Canada. So again, this can be like $60 for this game for me. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. I actually think the theme and the art style is quite funny, and I think the gin rummy aspect of it is pretty funny as well. It's just way too expensive for what it is. Cute to look at for sure, but I think it would be a, play it 3 times and then be done. But if you're interested, the finish is Thursday, October 2nd at 9 a.m. Here we have Macaraccoon Collector's Edition, the high-intensity strategy game disguised as dessert. Get ready for a tight set collection, brutal action economy, and kitchen sabotage. Chacaron macaron. Oh, okay. This is the guys who made Shawson. I remember that. Macaraccoon. Yeah, I remember Shawson looking like fine. They reached out to me at some point to be like, hey, do you want to cover Shawson? And I was like, not super stoked about it, but this seems like a great pivot. People love cute things. All right, so the base game's gonna be 59, so 83 Canadian, so it'd be about $100 for me. Maybe after 2 years of being on Kickstarter and seeing, well, I'm like more than 2 years, but 2 years of seeing everything costing me $100, it now might have dripped in as like, maybe I've upped my threshold to like $70 for a game instead of 60. All right, pick ingredients. You jump around the common kitchen to grab the ingredients you need, or sabotage your opponents by cornering them into bad positions. Okay, so this is your little token of jumping around and picking the ingredients. Some orders give you hearts to win the game, and some give you sugar for setting you up for big combos. Everybody wants the juicy orders. Pay attention to your opponent's mats, or risk getting sniped. Need help? Enlist experienced Whiskers for special limited use powers and bonus ingredients. Convince them with sugar. Hey, you want to come help me? What's in it for me? I got these sweet little sugar cubes for you, Baham, baby. Come on over. Every turn is only one action unless you eat your own sugar and Sugar Rush. Do you think chefs eat their own sugar? I'm sure they've tasted it. Download the rulebook, yes. Salty Souls. Salty Sues are here. Snatch, sabotage, and spoil your rivals' dishes with the Salty Sue chefs. Welcome to Sugar Mouth. Macaraccoon is hanging up his apron. Luckily, Macaraccoon has promised to find the town's next bake master. Don't you worry. Oh, Macaraccoon's going around, so you're communally moving Macaraccoon to put them into a spot that's bad for everybody else. Okay, here's what you can do. You can collect ingredients from the kitchen. You can serve orders, or you can seek the help of a friend. So you basically can move Macaraccoon to get an ingredient. You only have certain rooms for your ingredients before you have to plate them. And then you can also buy the one-time ability people. And if you've saved up some sugar, maybe just eat a little sugar. Oh, eat that sugar. Just get that sugar in there. Okay. Thank goodness we're back to fun games. Should I just cut out all the card games? I don't think I should. I have this discussion probably, I don't know. I still have 20 more to go. October is going to be a big crowdfunding month. An ingredient can only be placed at the very top or the very bottom of an existing stack. Okay, cool. So at least there's some flexibility in terms of when you build things. Once 2 or more ingredients are in a stack, they're permanently stuck together, but at any point in the game, you can move an entire stack of ingredients to the very top or the bottom of another dish. All right, so you really have to juggle your own shell game here, but it is an entire stack. Like, it is stuck together. Once you put things together, they're stuck together. Cool. And you can discard it, but then you've wasted your action. Sugar can also help you jump over here in this tactical decision. Yeah, I think this looks fun. Probably like too expensive, but this is what I would want waffle time to be, you know, as you race to serve these orders as well, because it is a race. And so if somebody like snipes you, you got to figure out, okay, can I beat so and so to getting this one or not? Oh, okay, great. And you can draft them no problem with the whiskers. So you can get them if which I really like, because sometimes you're just going to be blocked. You're going to be blocked a lot of the time. But you can grab a whisker that might be beneficial. But in order to use the whisker, oh no, I lied to you. Pick a whisker whose power you want to use. You must be able to pay one of its costs. So you use the whisker power, so they're always available. Okay. Again, then creating that race to get the things that you want. There's going to be a lot of interaction here and a lot of tension. I think it's a bit pricey for what it is, as my normal estimate, or my normal assessment rather, goes. US 20 to 25 for shipping, $40 to ship to Canada. Oh, woof. So $120 for this. I think it's really cute. I think if you could get this out there for, $40, that would be great. But I think as it stands, really solid, interesting gameplay. I think it's going to be very tactical and nice. I also think it's going to be way too expensive for what it is. But yeah, definitely solid design. I really liked it as a concept. If you're interested, that finishes on Thursday, October 2nd at 10 a.m. Moving along, this is one of the big ones that I'm really contemplating. We have the final expansion for Distilled. I haven't tried any of the other expansions. This is a huge box, which is honestly probably going to stop me from getting it. This could be incorporated into the base box. Then I might be persuaded. I should send this to Matt Laca, because he was very excited about the cocktails portion of it. But this is the cocktails, craft cocktails and fine spirits to gain international renown in the spirited expansion. So I own Distilled. I have a review of Distilled. Devin Norris actually sent it to me. I have those glasses. What's really intriguing to me about this is that you can do a double mix. Like you can make two cocktails at once, which sounds like it could blow open the main thing. Most requested. Interesting. All right, big box spirited expansion for Distilled. Here's what's new. We have the double washback, which sounds cool. Cocktails, collect mixers and garnishes to fulfill cocktail orders and earn worldwide renown. If you have already distilled that type of spirit, you can make that cocktail. I guess that makes sense. Satisfy collectors, achieve the demands of the collector to gain new label bonuses, along with opportunities for endgame scoring. So you're just getting these types. Oh, new label bonuses. So you're adding it to a label. Okay, we're going to look into that. And then when you're spreading your renown over, you're putting little control tokens on this board, and I think you're getting stuff. And then new cards. Oh, there's like a prelude style thing. You skip the first round of the game, but you just simulate what happens. Sure. All right, 49, the Mixologist, retail edition Distilled. Distilled cocktails packaged inside a custom designed collector's box that will hold your entire distilled collection. I don't know, there's a lot of room in the main box. Maybe you could do it. I am interested most in this Mixologist one. So there's a big map, some extra boards. I bet I could probably put it in my base game. There's enough room. I'm sure I could find a way. There aren't that many new cards that you couldn't use the existing insert. Dang, so like Distilled's already a big box. I don't need a bigger box. It looks like it's a modular expansion as well. You can just add whatever you want in there, maybe. Double washbacks. Basically, every time you do a double washback, it costs you more. But you still need to have the ingredients to do that, which is also going to be an interesting puzzle. All right, I'm going to need the rulebook. Yeah, we recommend adding the second washback, waiting to add the cocktails, world map, etc. Okay. Oh, if both washbacks have made the same spirit, you must combine the spirit stack, meaning you only gain one spirit label. Interesting. Yeah, because I was like, okay, I'll make two moonshine. I got double trouble. But if they've made different ones, you get a spirit level for both. Cool. Okay, for the cocktails, there's a market of cocktails. You're going to pay a cost for the cocktails. Whenever you pay, you get that many mixers, or you can just take mixers. Each cocktail is a specific glass as well, so you're doing the same bottle thing. You know what? I think I'm probably okay on this. It just seems like it's adding more of the same, but we'll see what the world renown does. Interesting. The interesting part about this is that it looks like you can then reuse the spirit label bonuses that you've claimed, right? Because you're going to be taking a spirit label from the top of your board, one that you've already created, and then you're going to move it next to the cocktail. By moving it next to the cocktail, feels like you've already claimed you're reopening that spot for you to get a premium ingredient or a distillery upgrade, and so you could really chain things together in that way. All right, that seems fun. Cocktail umbrellas are wild. 3-to-1 transition. Oh no, place a matching cocktail glass token from the supply on the spirit label. No, on the spirit label used to serve the cocktail. Okay, so it doesn't get removed. Dang, I got excited there. But you just put a glass on it to be like, listen, this has been used, and you can't use it again. Okay, cool. And so your renown starts in the region of the cocktail that you create created, and then they have to expand from there. Ingredient bonuses are always basic ingredients. Cocktails allow you to take any 4 face-up cocktails, but you don't get any mixers. Okay, yeah, okay, it does sound fun. And so your cocktails are just the things that are earning you renown. So they're not necessarily earning you victory points, but they're earning you additional ingredients, additional things to combo. Yeah, okay, that does sound fun. Oh, I see. And the collectors just give you additional spots to put your spirit labels that you're fighting over other people. But you have to hit a certain threshold, right? So it's got to be a silver tier that's hit 14 points. And then the collector's like, yeah, that's good enough booze for me. Yeah, fun tweaks. Definitely fun tweaks. Definitely not needed. I like the idea of cocktails. I like that it would make a few more combos. I think the most exciting part of this is the renown board. These collectors, which will give their additional bonuses, it's not bad. Actually, they're probably used more for the end of game or the last 2 where you don't really need to do anything. You've already generated your engine, and then being like, okay, I'll take 2 points doesn't feel as exciting as potentially being like, oh, I've been striving towards this collector, which is going to give me 5 or 6 points or something like that. So I guess I get that as a fun idea as well. Yeah, all this does seem fun. I think it will all add to the game. I don't think it's necessarily necessary, so to speak. US, the mixologist gets me $20, Canada $22. So if I were to get this, just the base tier, be $69 plus shipping, probably about $100. $100 for this promo, for this expansion. I wouldn't be going with the collector's cask because I think you could probably figure something out with how big Distilled is. I know it says 450 components, but a lot of it's going to be like small little things. I don't know. The game trays are a nice storage system-ish. For the trays are for Distilled. The cards at the bottom suck. So you could, take out that bottom layer, add in the additional stuff. I bet there's probably a way to get it into the base box if you're going for it. I wouldn't go for this big box. I don't need it. I don't want another big box on my shelf. I think Distilled is big enough. Yeah, it seems good. I like that it's doing well. It finishes Thursday, October 2nd at 10 a.m. Am I going to get it? Probably not at this point. I think it would be easy to incorporate with people who know the game. I think Distilled has enough moving parts that if I'm teaching new games to people or teaching Distilled to people, I generally would probably leave out the cocktails expansion. I think you could play around with the second washback with your original copy of Distilled without purchasing this thing, which I might do. And then if I find that I'm really enjoying that second washback and want more combo opportunities as you go through the game, then there's potential. I wonder if it's on Board Game Arena. Yeah. I don't know. I think it looks good. I think it looks like a solid expansion. $100 is a bit too rich for my blood. I might wait until it is in retail. This would be a very simple retail version for me to get later on at a sale, $60 or something. I could do that. All right, we're moving on to this one. Breakers, a monster hunting trick-taking game. Well, this is going to be a long video. Dang, I'm like only halfway through. But there was a lot of like bad stuff, so maybe there'll be less bad stuff moving forward. Guess we'll see. We've got Breakers, monster hunting trick-taking game where monsters make the rules. Sure, let's check it out. All right, so it's a trick-taking game with asymmetric powers? Is that what we're looking at? Okay, reveal a monster. The rules for each round are dictated by the monster. Everybody plays a trick from their hand. The monster designates trump. After the trick cards are played, players get to use available actions to manipulate the trick, then defeat the monster. The player who best achieves the monster's win condition defeats the monster, has access to its trophy for future rounds. Okay, and then so you just get to keep that for further other things. Cool. I like this. $30 for standard tarot and poker-sized card stock. Yeah, I am most interested in this, even though it's a bit more expensive. Out of all the other card games, it seems like a nice, neat little take on trick taking. There are so many good trick taking games that are out there, and sure, getting powers that you get to then use over the course of the game adds a fun little twist to it. So if you're interested, the message is Thursday, October 2nd at 11:59 a.m. Whoa, this has raised a ton. Way to go, Bezier. I didn't think it would raise this much. This is The Game Makers, an epic board game about making games. Craft and market 300 real board games in the strategy game. 1 to 6 players, simultaneous play, and if there's a tie, you just look up the BGG ranking, which is why you should put Bounce Off as a 10. Unfortunately, this music is copyright on YouTube, so I couldn't play it during the WSBG stream, but they did send it my way, this ad. And as opposed to Meeple Inc. or Tabletop Inc., which I just unpunched finally and kind of organized. So neat. They're using the actual art of all these games. Even allowing a 6-player game to finish within 90 minutes. That's cool. Each turn begins with players simultaneously moving their active forklifts around the massive warehouse at the center of the table. Each resource is broken down into 3 levels. The better the resource you acquire, the longer you have to wait to move your forklift again. Each card and resource in the game makers are dual purpose. Not only can each resource be used to fulfill a contract, but it can also be used to upgrade your factory. So for raw, your contracts are you need this, or you can upgrade your factory with the resources. Yeah. You can add plastic buildings to your factory to unlock asymmetric abilities or endgame bonus scoring. Adding tiles to your assembly line gives you permanent discounts on manufacturing games. Don't work harder, work smarter. You can get dice to move up different tracks or use them to fulfill contracts. The game's over when one person fills their display case. You can build 12 games. Cool. Currently not scheduled for retail release. That's surprising for Bezier. I mean, it's done so well, I bet it will, probably, but maybe not. Massive game, includes well over 700 upgraded components. Won't be available in stores, but you can probably get it from their store, right? Like, you could probably order it online, and when they have enough to do a print run, similar to Stonemaier, maybe that's what they would do. I'm just guessing. Game trays, custom insert, which means you won't be able to store it vertically, and you'll have to throw it out. And then just highlighting all the different games that you have already, that you can play, that you can build. I think it's fun. I think it is fun on this theme. I wonder what the licensing deal is like in terms of how much each company got paid. They're probably like, hey, we'll give you X amount of dollars so we can use your box art cover as one of our... Yes? No? Oh, it's suitable for both horizontal and vertical storage? Yeah, right. Game Trays needs to step it up. I have yet to be impressed by a Game Trays insert. Maybe this would be the first time, but I think their trays are good, but otherwise their storage solutions, yuck. Just do nothing and then wait till somebody 3D prints it and get it off Etsy. You're better off doing it that way. How much is it? $149. Oof. Completionist pledge. Get out of here. Of course they call it that. $200. Including all the different booster decks and blinged out component pack. Guess what, everybody who's doing the Pledge Manager access? You could get access to it for free. Did you know this? You can get access to it for free. I guess that's where the it's like an IP tax, but it's like a 300 IP tax. It's a 5-inch tall wooden panda. Does not serve any game function. That's so funny. Oh, the licensing diary. Yeah, I wanna read that. Oh, that you need to have a separate set of rights to use the side of the box. Interesting. Yeah, they don't talk about how much it costs though. All right, game makers. I want to see how this main mechanism works, and then it should be fairly self-explanatory after that point. Oh, I see. Okay. So whatever wedge is exposed, that you can choose to get like a level 1 of the first one, a level 2 of the second one, and a level 3 of the third one, because your forklifts will then be waiting there until the wheel of industry catches up with you. So very much like fromage, I feel. Because fromage, you're like putting it down and you only have like 3 or 2 turns or whatever. Because it rotates itself. So it feels like it'll have a similar flow. Cool, and it breaks down the type of resource that you're going to get. And this little circle shows it as well. And we'll cover 1, 2, and 3 as it goes through. And you can see what's exposed here, right? Cool, interesting. Okay, so you're just balancing getting resources and then choosing to apply them instantly to contracts that you're trying to complete, or keeping them like the workers, the wood, you can use as components, or you can use them as workers to create an engine and generating. But it's a bit of a race game, right? Like that's why it'll end in 90 minutes, is because you are racing towards completing this thing. You're getting these resources and then you're assigning them. I think it seems nice. I certainly don't think it's worth $150, and I'm sure that's because of the licensing. I think the gimmick itself is the thing that's pushing a lot of this, and not necessarily the gameplay. But I don't think the gameplay is going to be bad. I think it's going to be fun and enjoyable. But I think mechanically, Tabletop Inc. looks a heck of a lot more interesting. If you like an engine building game, if you like a resource game, I think Tabletop Inc. did it better. This is maybe getting more acclaim because it's got all the pictures, the actual pictures on them, and it's from Bezier. But I don't know. I might change my tune once I play Tabletop Inc. I bought it and I haven't yet played it, but it's on the shelf of shame list. But yeah, this definitely seems fun. But you're going to score points for all of your individual games. You're going to score set collection points. You're going to score points for being eco-friendly. I like this as a little tableau building that you want to get your endgame scoring, working with your other endgame scores, racing to build these things. It's going to be pretty quick to build these things. You're not going to want to build with your engine too much. I think it is way too expensive for what it is. I would want to pay, $70 for this tops. But I think that's probably because of the licensing. I think it's really cool. I think it's cool that everybody's kind of rallied around it, and I think it's going to be a solid game, just just way too expensive. That finishes Thursday, October 2nd at 8 p.m. Nothing overwhelmingly exciting here, but, you know, a solid, fine game. Moving along to this one, Pencil Book Quest. Loot, level, and slay your way to glory in this travel-friendly dungeon crawler. Solo, pencil and paper adventure, designed to be played anywhere, 80 levels, battle monsters, spiritual successor to the original game, Pocketbook Adventures. Okay. Each turn, choose a direction and move 4 spaces in a straight line, unless you hit something. Sounds simple, but that one rule turns every map into a puzzle. How to fight, smart, grab loot, reach the chest before realizing you expertly blocked yourself 3 turns ago. Oh, cool. Yeah, that just seems fun. Probably can't go to the same spots, and you can't cross a monster's line of sight until they're dead. In this game, you don't roll dice, you aim. Place your pencil on the dot above the enemy, close your eyes, or look away, and try to hit the target. Where you land determines how much damage you take and whether you trigger the enemy's special ability. That's fun. This seems great. Some are puzzles, some are brawls. What is it, 50 pages? I think this looks very fun. $15 for a physical copy of Pencil Book Quest? I think this looks great. And a PDF version for $5? Amazing. That's the simple puzzle of like, okay, I go here, I go here, I go here, I go here. Really trying to figure out what has happened. I love that how you defeat enemies. I think that's really funny. Yeah, I think that seems cool. $5 for the print and play, 15 for the physical. Great. That finishes Thursday, October 2nd at 8 p.m. Love that. All right, moving along. We've got Super Boss Monster 2. Dungeon building would never be the same. Super Boss Monster 2 and Boss Monster Jr. are shaking up the Boss Monster universe. Okay. I remember thinking these look fine, but I was never really overwhelmed by them. I can see how some people might enjoy this one more. I think I might enjoy it a little less. It's the same concept as Super Boss Monster, where you're going to be drafting tiles to put into your dungeon to destroy and eat and murder heroes. But in this one, but my game uses dice. That's exactly what it is. You're going to roll some dice when you reveal a room, and it will have a different power based upon how well you roll. There are ways that you can manipulate your dice, and there is some dice mitigation, but that's pretty much it. $35 is a base pledge, though. That's not bad. I think you could just get Super Boss Monster at your local store if this interests you. You're drafting cards from the board to build your best dungeon to murder your people. Very simple game. Plays quickly, and this one there's some more randomness, which might improve it if the base game was a little bit too stale. I like it being at that $35 price point. I remember that to get everything was like super expensive. US and China, $12, Canada, UK, EU, $14 shipping. For me to get this game would still be about $60, which is, you know, again, not too bad. I think you can probably get it out there though. They said it dropped in yeah, right? Like it's in stores right now and you can get it without having to pay the shipping. So check your local store. I'd say that's probably the better idea and waiting till this comes out. But yeah, it's raised a bunch of money. If you're interested, it finishes Thursday, October 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Queen Games, if you're at Essen, you can pick stuff up there. Good one, Queen Games. Okay, we're moving on to this one. SCP, the board game. Confidential Crisis. Dive into an exhilarating board game crafted for 2 to 4 players drawn from SCP Foundation universe. What is that? I don't know. Super creepy people? That's the universe I can get on board with. Slappy crappy pappy? No. Scientific Corporal Patrol. Security level. Okay, Security Corporation Protocol. Maybe that's it. Take command of your journey as you level up your security level and sharpen your character's skills against powerful SCPs. Okay. Security Character Power. Cooperative story-driven board game set in the SCP Foundation universe. Still don't know what that is. Take on the role of the OS Council, also known as the OS Command, which is the highest authority in the SCP Foundation. Still don't know what it is. Should you contain the SCP, secure the world, or destroy it? I don't know, because I don't know what it is. Oh, it's clearly based off of an IP, like some sort of video game then. Oh, the 05. It's not an OS, it's an 05. Okay. No retail, no late pledge. These gifts are exclusive. Okay, so you can probably late pledge them, but you can't get them in the late pledge. Did I miss? Have they still not defined what SCP is? No, they haven't. What are you? Horrible. Just horrid. All right. Gameplay and overview. Leading Mobile Task Force, MTF members, thank you. Let's add some more acronyms in here. As the AEs intensify, players will encounter NCs, including not only powerful SCPs, but also the management of LR, the BOVO, and in some cases, AIT. The essence of the game focuses on ST and T, where every D made by the players can D the F of the EF. Reset agents from standby. Okay. Action phase. You explore the place. Freaky. God, even just looking at that's giving me a headache. All right. Let's look at the rulebook, I guess, because I don't... I don't get it at all. SCP-GM? General Man? The game manual! Oh, I love that it's titled GM up here. We're 10 pages in and we're 8 pages in. We're now just getting something. Also doesn't introduce the game. It's like, here are your components. Here's a card. What are you doing? Doesn't matter. But some map tiles have borders. As you can tell, I'm very impressed by this campaign. You still haven't told me the goal. 12 pages in. Still haven't been told the goal. This is atrocious. So you can reveal a tile and you place it in some regard. You can move. You can touch. Interact with an SCP. Okay, so these are SCPs are things you gotta go touch. Okay, to perform contain or negotiate. Contain, you roll 1d100. If it's equal to or higher than the contained value, you contain it. Negotiate. You roll 1d100. If it's equal or higher to the negotiate value, you negotiate with it and gain a battle token. Then you can use battle tokens for stuff. This looks awful. This looks truly awful. I have no idea how. It must be an IP because it's raised a bunch of money. This looks as awful as Arrival. Like, I still don't know what SCP stands for. Super crawly portraits. I don't know. This looks horrid. It looks like a very simple action point system where you have a bunch of different characters. They all get to do one thing. Then they get tired. You can hire more people. It just looks really bad. So we're moving on. Don't get it. That's on the 3rd at 10 a.m. Set your alarm to not get that one. We're moving on to this one. No More Dead New York. The fate of New York is in your hands. Will you ensure your community's survival, find a cure, or succumb to the chaos? No More Dead. It looks like Walking Dead style. Let's see. See, that's how you do it. It said this passed to the National Something for Viral Advancement. And I was like, oh, that's going to be an acronym. And then they're like, no one would know that Nova itself was behind the outbreak. I was like, perfect. Now I know. It doesn't need a bite? Uh-oh. Man, the fact that things don't need a bite? A zombie world where you don't need to be bitten? Just you die and you become zombie. Okay, so it looks like there are a bunch of locations. You're going to put your people out in those locations. They're going to fight each other. You're opting for area control while still taking out the dead. Yeah, a blend of area control, resource management, and tactical decision-making. Witness either the rebirth or the downfall of civilization within 90 minutes. So you have your characters, you place the character on a location, you perform the action wherever you go of the played character and or the location. So each location will have a spot and then different spots for like your worker placement areas. Yep, like so get bullets or shoot bullets. Beware when a character is eliminated, it turns into a zombie. Then refill your screen, draw characters from your camp bag until you have 3. Sick. Move your van to an adjacent district card. You can probably only drop people in districts where you're at. That makes sense. District check. If all locations in the district are occupied, the battle for control begins. Whoever's the most influence gains control of the district. Sick. So you're moving out. It's bidding, essentially. It's a bidding game. Then you draw a new district to replace the one that was taken. Yeah, okay. So it's just a bidding game with different actions that you have going on there. But yeah, looks kind of fun. How much are you? The all-in pledge is ridiculous. €82. You don't need it because you're going to get the play mat and whatever. But the core pledge is €35. That feels reasonable. 60 bucks Canadian feels reasonable. Now, of course, shipping will make it, $90 for me. So less reasonable, but still. Yeah. Let's look at this rule book. I think I have a pretty good sense, though. What? No, I want No More Dead, please. Great world building. Really good world building. National Organization for Violent Enhancement. I see. Each character will have movement points, and you just move either left or right, and then up from the bottom as well to hit the... So it's not a free-for-all of the actions, so likely the better actions are going to be at the top. And here are the actions. Gain resources, murder people, gain additional points of stuff, eliminate a zombie or a character in an adjacent district, steal stuff. Cool, and these just essentially give you more actions once you've gotten a district. You flip them over. You can use your people who are on there instead of putting people out to get more districts. You can use them for different actions. Yeah, this seems fun. I think it seems solid. I like the price as well. Shipping, €15, €20, and then €25 to get to Canada. So for core pledge for me, again, yeah, like in that $90 range. Too expensive, but it seems like a fun little bidding game, Everybody has their own action on their cards as well, and wherever they go, they can get additional bonuses. So you're working with people who are good at fighting, who are good at stealing, and that's a secret element as well. So nobody knows what you're going to do until you strike I think that this could actually be quite fun. That finishes on the 3rd at 11 a.m. if you're interested. I'm not going to cover this too much. It's just Mobile Arms. This is another sort of war game with a free learn to play PDF for Mobile Arms. If you want to run around with like Gundam people and have that as a war game, check it out. I don't really cover war games because I don't really like them, so it's inevitably going to be like, meh, too expensive, because they always are. The starter boxes are always too expensive. But if you like war games, I always like to include them in here so that you can check them out yourselves. We're moving on to this trigger warning. Will you be the last one standing? A high-stakes memory game. Outsmart your opponents by taking calculated risks, shooting strategically, and using your resources wisely. $14 US. Okay, I'm intrigued. Yeah, it seems fine. It's a push your luck style game where you're pushing the other person's luck. You're pointing a gun at them and you're saying, I'm going to shoot you. And then if you flip over a card, you're like, click. Oh, no. Then they get to draw an item out of their bag, and they can use that item to kill you more. Everybody has 3 lives. Last person standing wins. It's $14. The $7 Canadian for a print and play. 14 US, which is 20 Canadian for a physical copy of the game. Sure, I don't think it looks that interesting. I think the price is right for it. I think the print and play is probably better. It's just a very simple, did you get shot or did you not? Knowing who you're going to shoot, who you're not going to shoot, you'd say like, listen, this is probably going to be, I only have 1 more shot in my gun, so I'm just going to shoot you so you can draw an item so you can shoot the other people and you can make those deals. Seems mediocre. That finishes Friday, October 3rd. At 9:01 a.m. All right, we're moving on to a cute, cozy tableau builder, Smallfolk, a cozy tableau builder. Take an exciting journey with your friends in this cozy 1 to 4 player game. Oh, they did Chroma Arcana before. Okay, that was the other one that they did, which looked fine, I think. I remember thinking that one looked fine. 45 minutes to run around in this cozy board game, building up a tableau. You're going to be paying resources for your card, and then activating your cards to get more resources, chaining it together, engine building, walking around the landscape. What I want to know is, well, how to play and how much walking around you do. Take a step along the path, gain the rewards of your new space, and either claim or exhaust a card from your story. So exhausting is an ability, claiming is a different ability. This takes you closer to the next gather spot where you can refresh exhausted cards and take advantage of the engine you've built. Okay, and I want to see how you get these cards as well. Oh, see, that's a bit weird when they said claim there, but claim a card is something different. So claim is just like get a card. It says, hold on, adventurer, the rulebook isn't quite ready yet. Why don't you watch the Groves video instead? No, I want to read the rulebook. Wow. Great production value here for the video. The Grove, this guy doesn't have any subscribers. Go check him out. Really good production value. Clearly worked really hard. I know what answers I want, and I could find it in like 1 minute. And I don't want to have to sit through this 10-minute thing. Okay, here's what you can do. You can play a card from your hand. You can move, gain the reward, and then also exhaust. So you're gaining a bunch of resources. This is your resource getting job. This is your card thing, and then this is one-time ability. You can do 3 of those throughout the day. Nice channel. Seems fine. Storyteller all in pledge. No, what's the base? Adventurer Cord pledge. £29, 55 Canadian. Yeah, I like that. Shipping to Canada is £14. About half of that. It's about $80 to get this to my game. Yeah, it seems very simple. It kind of reminds me of like Rose Gardens or Wild Gardens. I think it was called Wild Gardens, where the places you can move are pretty limited. I didn't know how you're drawing cards. You know, rulebook would help me with that, so I don't have to skim videos or watch them all. God, it boils my beats when a game doesn't have a rulebook. If you don't have a rulebook, don't launch on Kickstarter. Pretty simple. You want to teach the game. Just a standard Word document is fine. And it is very, very rules light. So there is really no excuse for not having just a breakdown of the internal document of how you play. But it's because they want to push the art forward, and that's it. You take a step, you get resources. You build as many cards as you can. You can exhaust like 1 of them on your turn as well. Feels like there aren't going to be as many like chaining, combo, wild things that you can do. You want to get as many points as possible. So moving along, there are spaces where if you move 2, you get points. So running around the board could get you points. Playing cards and cycling cards out of your tableau could get you points as well. Seems cute enough. $80, I'm not really that interested, but it seems fine. That finishes Friday, October 3rd at 4 p.m. This I just wanted to include. Anytime I see a pay what you want, or not anytime, but oftentimes I like to include it. So if you wanted 3D printing STL files for a bunch of medieval town stuff, you can. I'll include that in the links down below. Now moving along to something I'm very excited to look at. Galactic Cruise, the achievement expansion and reprint. Unlock new content as you strive to accomplish the company's achievements in this campaign-adjacent expansion for Galactic Cruise. So essentially, Galactic Cruise is a phenomenal game. It's really good. It's really, really good. It is a game where I played at KublaCon and I was like, yeah, this is really fun. I want a copy. And I reached out to Kins and Key Games, and so there will be a review of Galactic Cruise on the channel. But spoiler alert, the reason I reached out to them was not to do a review. It was because I selfishly wanted the game, and the way I can get free games is by doing reviews. So that's what I was going to do. But that should also speak to the quality of the game, in that it was good enough that I wanted to reach out specifically to review. Sometimes companies reach out to me and they'll be like, hey, can you review the game? And if I think it's popular and I might enjoy it, yeah, I'll say yes and get it. But it is very rare that I reach out to companies specifically to be like, hey, I want to review your game. Normally I wait until they come to me, or if it's something that I think is going to be widely, like there's going to be a lot of appeal and mass appeal and people want to know about it, then that's why I would want to do a review for like you, the audience. But this is an entirely selfish review that is coming up, which means that it is good. It's a great game. And I'm really contemplating getting this expansion. The expansion for Galactic Cruise, I've already kind of taken a look at it. No spoilers. It's basically like, hey, it's a bunch of new cards and new content for the game. I don't think it's going to shake up anything whatsoever. I think it's going to be like, hey, now you get this blueprint into the mix. Now you get this card into the mix. Shuffle it into your game, and it gives you little goals to pursue as you're going. It turns it into a roguelike game, which you could just abandon entirely and just take the contents and slap it all in your game anyway. I think it's great for people who are playing this a lot and who are playing this solo. I think if you're not playing this a lot, you don't necessarily need it. And that's what's going to stop me from spending money on it. They are giving you a bunch of free add-ons with this. Now, their votes for the add-ons have been like, hey, here's 2 different pins, who wants a pin? And then it's like, hey, here's 2 different gameplay things, who wants what gameplay? Putting it in this way, because if they just made it gameplay versus cosmetic, the gameplay would win every time. And then that way they can have another little package that they can sell later, which is fair. I don't think they really need to worry about showing spoilers for what these things are. But essentially what they look like is you get a little sticker. You can say, oh, you've made this achievement, and now there are these extra cards in your game, right? That's pretty much all it's going to be. And I doubt that it'll be worth 49 bucks, 69 Canadian. So that's 70, and then plus shipping would be like 100 bucks to get this. I don't know if it's worth it. If you are interested in getting Galactic Cruise, I think that is worth it. I think Galactic Cruise is worth it. I think it is a great game if you like chunky euros. I think it's pretty awesome. You could save 40 bucks and get the other. I think the other expansions that they have look more interesting, like the advancements and the accommodations look a little bit more interesting than the achievements expansion. And if you happen to see one of these pop up as these investors, I think this is a really good get. It's $1,000 Canadian, which is expensive, but you can, it's the strategist pledge, right? You will get, they're doing this and they opened it to 50 backers, which seems insane to me that so many people could get it. I would keep your eyes on Kins and Key Games for their next stuff. I think they really hit it out of the park with Galactic Cruise, and they've established themselves as like a company that's going to put out heavy, chunky games. And if you can grab one of these like forever things where you just have to pay for the shipping for their next thing, I think it's going to be worth it, especially at that $500 price point. You know, in 5 games, it'll pay for itself, maybe less, because games are going to be 109, you know, 130. So getting the base game and then waiting for 4 more games, I think it's probably going to pay for itself. I think that's actually a really good value. But yeah, Galactic Cruise is great. Basically, you're going to be grabbing blueprints, as this little graphic shows. You'll be building those blueprints into your shuttle, and then you will send your shuttle off on a trip. One of these trips you're going to grab, it's a flight path, and then your passengers will ride along in the trip, and they will experience magical, wonderful things, and they'll be stuck there as you do other stuff and build more spaceships. Each spaceship will also have a unique endgame scoring condition. Each time you go to a different world, you can have different scoring conditions. The action selection is very fun as well. You're just kicking people out of spots. And you can do 2 actions, like 1 top, 1 bottom, or if you've created a network, you can do 1 of the space where you're at and then 1 of the space next door, which is also modular as well as you play through. So it's really a very good game. Everything clicks together in a very nice way. Shipping for achievements to Canada, 12 bucks, cheaper than the US. Hey, base game to Canada, 17. US is 20. You get a big bundle. The shipping's good. This is a friggin' big box. Like, I'll go get it. Like, look at this beautiful baby. Come on. Oh, ow. I hurt my thumb like a month ago and it still feels like it's sprained, which probably go see a doctor about that. But yeah, it's super, super chunky, super big, and I don't have a lot of space in my place. And this also tells you, like, I got this, I got Endeavor Deep Sea, which just won the Kennerspiel in terms of games that I've reached out for. Oh, and like Everdels. You know, I reach out for those specific games. And then I was trying to get Great Western Trail New Zealand because I still don't own a copy, but I'm gonna get that eventually because I have a gift card for a board game store, and when they restock it, then I'll get it there, or at least get some money off. But yeah, Galactic Cruise. It's a fantastic game. I look forward to diving into this more and more and then being able to do a review on it, like a comprehensive review. I think it is really, really good. I think you can. It is readily available from retail. They say you can get it here, but you could get it from their site and just order it to your door. So I don't think you should really get it through here. I think there are probably other places you can get it if you're interested. But yeah, great game. I really, really like it, and I think it is worth its price. I don't think the expansion, this achievements expansion, does seem that worth it. And the add-ons, like the $92 of add-ons, don't seem like supremely worth it. Just a couple extra tech tiles, some metal trackers, some deluxe magnetic boxes for the base game, which is not bad. An art print, and currently some like sleeves. Like, who cares? Both the accommodations and the advancements, I think, look better than whatever this mystery box is going to be, and that's probably because it's a mystery box. There's 12 secret boxes unlocked through achievements, 3 secret boxes unlocked through certificates, an expert worker tile, some different upgrade tokens that you can add in, sure. The achievement expansion includes a bunch of modules that can be used individually or in combination with another. And then here's the rules sticker. That's it. It's like, you're going to get a bunch of different modules, a bunch of different rules, and we're not going to tell you what those are. I hate that. I hate that they're not telling me. I wish I could look underneath the hood and be like, okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. But I also trust that they will be interesting. I also think that Galactic Cruise is complicated enough that for the vast majority of you, you're not going to need these modules. In fact, they will probably detract from it. But we have a bunch of people who love this game, and I definitely agree with them. It's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal, really, really great design. That finishes Friday, October 3rd at 6 p.m. I've been thinking about this game, and I'm really excited to continue to play it. Okay, moving along. Only a few more to go. We have Deadlands, Dark Ages, Savage World. Time to get medieval on the Deadlands saga. Oh no, it's an RPG. Haha. Don't have to worry about that then. Because there is a Deadlands game, and it's all like based on cards, but I think the RPG is better. So there's an RPG, but we're not looking at it because we just are sticking to board games right now. Next up, we've got this, which is Around the World in 15 Minutes, which we've already covered. Oh, this is a new South America map. That's what it is. This was a print and play a while back, and I thought it looked pretty solid. And there's now a new map for it. So if you are interested in it, we'll go back into whatever crowdfunding countdown it came in. You can always check it out in the link below. I got this huge master list that I'm going to encourage people to use. I've covered over 3,000 games there. So you can go back and you can Control F and you can find it, and it's going to be the same thing. I thought this looked good. It's a print and play. If you like print and plays, you probably already know that you want this one. Next up, we've got Disco Heist Laundry, the tableau building Euro game. Travel back in time to the radical 1980s, where you compete to put together a crew of criminals for the heist of the decade. Cool. I love the art style. Okay, cool. It looks like a little deck building game as you move people around on the board. Deck building with a board is always something that I really love. Very fun theme. As you launder more and more money, more and more cops will appear on the table. 45 for the standard edition. I want to see what is different in standard and deluxe. Oh, deluxe just adds in a bunch more wood. Yeah, don't need that. Oh, this was the one that Ruel was running back from WSBG to go film. Okay, let me see the rules. I want to see what all the symbols do. I want to see what the actions you can take with your crew cards. There's only 20 crew cards in the market, 20 kingpin cards, so 5 for each kingpin. So not a lot of deck building that's going to happen. All right, okay, cool. So there's a bunch of different acts in terms of the heists that will get more and more difficult as you go through. All right, a player's turn is you're going to play one card to your montage. Gain resource, deploy stuff to the city, shake down the city, launder. Then in any order, spend movement to move your kingpin, exhaust crew in your montage. So you can only play one per turn, and then you end your turn, and then the end of the round is you just get 4 turns. That's it? Not deck building at all then. The shakedown effect. Okay. So you're plopping people out on the board, and then you're using the board's effect more than anything. At the end of the turn, you must return all of your cards in your montage back to your hand, including the launder card. So how do you play more than one card? There are multiple rounds within each act. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, thank goodness. There are multiple rounds within each act. Crime spree normal, 3 heists per act, 4 heists per act. Build the heist deck. Right. So at the end of the round, it's the end of the act. Then there's a turf war. Then you pick up all your cards. So you're gonna get to on your turn. You play one of those things. Yeah, draw 1 card from the heist deck. Right. I was getting heists confused with act cards, and I was like, this just seems no fun at all. But you're gonna get to build up a little bit more. You're still gonna have some limitations because you're only gonna get to play 3 or 4 of your cards. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're back on track here. It's much better. We're feeling much better about it. Often when there's something glaring from like a studio that I know, I'm like, okay, there's something that I'm missing. Or if there's something glaring, I try to find the thing that I'm missing. And if there isn't anything missing, then I go, oh, geez. But when there is, then it makes me happy. And you want to get as many jewels as you have that you can convert into laundered money. So all of the people that you have also will have like a launder limit, which I think is neat. So it doesn't matter if you're just stealing a whole bunch. It matters if you can get away with it as clean cash. Yeah, okay, I think this is going to be fun. You're juggling your people around. Cops are going to block different locations, and so you want to move people away from that so you can shake down other different businesses. You want to be matching symbols to whatever the heist is, and you're building those symbols based upon, and that also gives you, those are how you're going to get your big points, by doing a big heist and get like 20 jewels, and then you have to launder that money, right? And so building up those symbols and playing those symbols out there that you need, while maybe taking sub-optimal actions. You know what this game is? This game is the gamer's version and the better version of this little card game, One Last Score, which a patron generously sent my way, and I thought it was it's like a very take-that-y style card game that didn't really resonate with me that much. But this feels like the better version of what that puts out. It's like the gamer version. Yeah, I think it's fun. I'm certainly not going to get it. I think standard edition would be all you need, 63 Canadian, and then shipping, $10, 15 to Canada, so like 80. Tariffs are going to be just a few bucks for you. Yeah, seems cool. So it'd be about $80 to get this to my door. Again, too expensive. Not like super drawn into it. It seems like a pared down version of Scarface 1920 as well. Both in terms of the action economy, in terms of you're playing one single card or like a limit of cards, the police will get onto your tail, will pop up a little bit more, less deck building, less turnover, so kind of like a pared down version of that. If you're interested, that finishes Saturday, October 4th at 3 a.m. Oh wow, we're so close, we're nearing the end. I just clicked on this because I just thought, okay, oh no, was a very funny title. Okay. Oh no. And you have to sculpt things. It's not gonna fun. It certainly isn't. Just get some Play-Doh and pull out cards from any game, any party game you have, and you have, okay, oh no. But you know, I thought it was funny, so there it is. 2 more. We got this one, Marsh Hallow. The cooperative polyomino dungeon crawler Flippin' Right, where you play a marshmallow trying to save your family from a marshmallow cult. That's very funny. Okay, cool. Let's see what this one's like. Polyonimo. Equipped with water guns and balloons, players traverse the map with help of their animal allies. Use your ammunition wisely to extinguish the flaming family members, because you all wanted to set yourselves on fire. You've got transparent cards so that you can just pull them over your board as well. And it's like blockists, so they can't touch edge to edge, but they must touch quarter to quarter. There's also this mechanism, the quake mechanism, where this is a quake here with 6, but you would get to take one of those out and put it touching somewhere else. Sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, and you only have 3 family members that you have to save. Yeah, this seems cute. Great theme. Okay, cool. And you can get resources throughout, like balloons, which can be used to cover an extra space, covering a marshmallow used at slingshots when you go to the slingshot. So there are different things you can get, but the core mechanism stays the same. Once per player per game, a player may choose a shape with the color texture associated with that shape and announce the ability. Does that mean you can only do one of the 3, or you can do one of each? I think you can do one of each throughout because then you cross out the little bubble. Oh, and it's cooperative, so you can, I thought it was competitive, but it's cooperative because you can help each other when you're at different slingshots. And so you're not screwing each other over when you're putting things down on another square. And you need to always have water if you're going to be covering up different buddies. So you need to get water balloons and water guns. And then you also need to save some water for the end game, because you then have to have enough in reserve. You have to have hit enough pawns to have enough stuff in reserve to fight somebody else. 35. Yeah, 35 US, 49 Canadian, and then shipping US is 14, so you're looking at 49 US. 17 gets me to 75 Canadian. Yeah, I think it's cute. There's no variability in the maps, but you are going to start with different characters. Like everybody has to get to different characters, so that's where the variability is. Again, it's one of those things where the theme has to really resonate with you. The transparent cards are cute. I don't think they're necessary. They're justifying them when they're talking about them. They're saying, listen, everybody loves our transparent cards, so you can actually like put them over your map, but you also can not have that and have it be cheaper, and in that 25 realm might be a little bit more feasible, especially when you have to pay for shipping. If you got in a group buy, I don't think it's bad, right? Again, it's expensive. Kickstarter is always going to be expensive. I'm always going to hammer home that it is expensive, even though when you justify to yourself that it's not expensive. And so it really has to be something that you're actively excited about. And for me, I think it would be, it's fun. I'd rather just play it and move on. But if you're interested, check it out. That finishes on Tuesday, October 7th at 11:58 a.m. And then finally, we have Keyforge Draconian Measures. It's the latest set in Keyforge, which brings in new houses, new cards, new powers for the Archons to use to change the vaults. Keyforge is the same game every time, and Keyforge is a fun game. Keyforge is also a game where I would never want to get it on GameFound, because you can get a bunch of decks that nobody else is using and just have fun. Like, you can get older sets and still have a good time at your local store when they're on sale. That's what Zach did. He got a bunch of different Keyforge decks. We've played Keyforge a bunch, Zach and I. We both enjoy it. And in fact, I think I enjoy Keyforge maybe the most out of those head-to-head two-player card games that are
just like Duel Monsters.
Yeah, pretty much. I think maybe the most out of all of them, which I think is saying something. Because what I like about it is that the decks are just there. You open them up, you play a deck, you try to figure out what your puzzle is. There's no deck construction. It takes all of the pain and suffering and most of the expense out of like Magic the Gathering, and it gives you something like this. Now, of course, their most popular pledge, they're trying to make you buy a bajillion decks. You don't need them. And even this novice thing with some of the tokens, and I don't think you need it either. You only get 2 decks out of that, and I don't think that's what you want. The Svelte deck pledge is $85, and it looks like you get 6 decks for that. So 85 divided by 6. It's like $14 a deck. I'd rather pay 5, you know? If you can get them on sale, I think that's what Keyforge is good for. Otherwise, especially with the shipping. But just like go into your store, they're going to have some Keyforge stuff. Highly recommend if you like 2-player head-to-head card games. I think it's a fun time, but it's not something that I want to spend $100 on. Absolutely not. But yeah, I think Keyforge is great. So yeah, that finishes on the 7th at 11 a.m. And the other thing, my friend Tim just texted me, Tim Riel from who runs Codenames Live, which I'm going to be on the 13th, I think. I committed to doing that. That'll be fun. I'll probably bring my nemesis and not friend Josh on, former friend. But he texted me, he's like, hey, is this a game about cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after somebody makes a noise? And I guess the answer is yes. It was by Clarendon Games, commissioned this for a bunch of cute comical creatures. So you could see these out there of any cute comical creatures and trying to identify them after somebody makes a noise. And I think it's just like a really fun game. And way to go to Bez. She got it signed. And I saw that was a notification from like 2 years ago. And if you look on BGG, you can't find Roarrr. But if you see this out at a store somewhere, also worthwhile getting. And I just got excited that it got signed and like published in a box that's not this, and with some like different monsters as well. Like these are so funny. They're so funny. It's such a funny game. That's what I do with that guy. It's so stupid. Oh, it's such a stupid game, but it's so funny. And yeah, it just makes me excited to see good games get picked up by company. I think, you know who I think should pick up that game? I think boardgametables.com. Sorry. All Play should go and pick that up. But yeah, I just thought that was fun to see, and wanted to point it out. But that's it. That's it for the week. It was a very long week, very big week. So every week I do a pick for me and a pick for you. The pick for me being the thing that I think is the most mechanically interesting, and I think the pick for you being the thing that I think if you got, you would regret it the least. There's a lot of good games this week, so let's remember them right now with a little crowdfunding grunt down, and then I can eat some food. Ooh, I'm gonna go turn on my toaster oven first before we do that, and then I'll remember what we're doing. Meh, no, meh. Honestly, that was too generous. No, yeah, also too generous. Meh. There we go. No, nah, no, absolutely not. meh, meh, yeah, meh, nah, yeah, meh, absolutely not. Usually I save that for pre-pledges, but it just felt the same. Yeah. War, meh, meh, sure, yeah. To be clear, that was for the expansion. For the base game, yes. Meh, yeah. Oh no, meh, and meh. That's interesting, right? Because I felt like I was pretty hyped about, I was pretty high on a lot of these things as they were coming through. It seemed like I was pretty enthusiastic about them, but then going through them, I just kind of like, for Galactic Cruise, I think I'm safe because they haven't told me what the modules are. And I also think that it is enough of a substantial game that it is less likely to need those modules unless you're really diving into it over and over. And so I think, therefore, my pick for me is going to be Distilled, the Cocktails expansion. I think I am safe from purchasing this. I don't need it needed in my game. It hasn't made me like drastically want to pull the trigger, especially at like that $100 for shipping. But I do think that it will add an interesting element to it. I think it will add that interesting chaining things together, adding an interesting combo potential. And so the one that I'm the most interested in, I guess, for me, would be this Distilled Cocktails. And then for you is this pencil book quest. I think this is going to be fun. I know you're a lot of solo players out there. Just a little drawing puzzle. Maybe this is a pick for me. I don't know. But I'm not a solo gamer. So anything solo that I think looks cool, I always make the pick for you. I think it's a really good price for just this little book. I think the puzzle seems fun. I think the monster fighting seems unique, of like close your eyes and draw a line and see what happens. It might get a little bit repetitive. But you know what? I think it's cute. And so that's a pick for you. Or base game Galactic Cruise if you like complicated stuff. And base game's probably all you need. The expansions are cool. You could get base game and get the additional stuff, the bonuses if you haven't. So yeah, I think that's it. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for the week. Thanks for being here. This was definitely a very long week on my side of things. So hopefully you all got some value out of it. And if you didn't, well, that's fair. You know, I'll try better next time. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you have a fun time, and don't spend too much money this month because there's going to be, upcoming, it's going to be a wild month of crowdfunding, and then it's going to be completely dead. So yeah, don't spend too much money. Really make sure that you are actively excited, right? Are you actively excited? How many times do you play a game before getting an expansion? Because it needs to be more than 15, I'd say. That seems pretty reasonable. More than 15 times to play a game that you have to play the things you own. Get that cost per play down, and then you can get an expansion. That's what I'm telling myself as well. I think I've played Distilled less than that, my physical copy. I've played a bunch on Board Game Geek. But yeah, which is why I'm not going to get the expansion. And that's why I moved it up to 15. So, because it was 10, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for being here. My name's Chris George. Oh no, I don't have a catchphrase. What a bad way to end a video.